In this video, you're going to learn a mental game strategy that you can use to stop choking during games. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. When you choke during your performances, this is so frustrating because in those crunch time moments, you want to be the one who wins it for your team. Or if you're playing an individual sport, you just want to win and pull through in those moments. And so if you feel like you are a choking player instead of being a clutch player, this can be very, very hard on your confidence. And what's even worse is if you start to see yourself as a player who chokes, that's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're not going to have as much confidence in those similar situations in the future. So what can you do about this? Well, one of the best ways to work on performing a little bit better in those crunch time moments, if you notice that you're choking right now, is to work on approaching them in a very similar way that you do to every other moment during the game. Because let's think about this. What is probably causing you to choke in those moments? It's probably the pressure that you put on yourself. Maybe the anxiety and fear that you feel because you really want to perform well. So in that moment, that's where we see this motivation to want to perform well sometimes hurt you. Because yes, you want to do your best in that moment. But by wanting to do your best so badly that you're trying to force it, sometimes it causes you to not play like you know how to play. So in those moments, you want to be performing with full confidence, completely relaxed, just going out there and performing like you do any other moment. Because if you can do that, you're going to be able to perform your best. And so in that situation, you want to be performing your best in that situation. You want that outcome. But you have to think, how do I actually get there? How do I get that outcome that I want? Well, you get the outcome by playing the way that you know how to play, playing to the best of your strengths. So a way that you can actually actionably try to approach that situation or that crunch time moment during a game in a very similar way that you do to other moments during the game is by creating yourself routines. If you create routines for yourself during your games, then whenever you come to those crunch time moments, you want to fall back on your routines. Now, these help for situations and sports where routines are going to be used. For example, batting in baseball, pitching in baseball, serving in tennis, receiving the serve in tennis, before you go swim a race, before you shoot a free throw, before you take the snap in football. Anytime before a play starts where you can have routines, or maybe even during the play, so like during a serve where you're getting ready to perform the serve, you kind of go through this routine, right? So in those moments, you want to make sure that you have routines. And the thing is, you don't want to just use this routine during that crunch time moment. The point is, you want to have this routine and use it every single time you're performing, so then you become comfortable in that crunch time moment. Because in that crunch time moment where you're choking, you're not feeling comfortable. You're feeling pressure, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling fear. And for you, that those feelings and seeing this moment as a moment that's more important than any other moment during the game is actually hurting you. So you want to work on seeing this moment like you do any other moment during the game and just approach it with that same level of confidence and comfort and familiarity. To get to be feeling familiar with the moment, you want to be using that routine. So this routine can be mental, or it can be physical, or it can be a combination of both. You can repeat certain self-talk phrases to yourself before you perform. Or what you can do is you can perform something physical where, maybe you bounce the ball a few times, you spin the ball in your hand, you do something physical that you can repeat. So therefore, you are approaching this situation the same way that you do any other situation. Now, what happens if you're in crunch time moments and you don't have time to do that? For example, if you're a basketball player, you're not shooting a free throw. You're probably going to be the one that needs to take that shot at the end of the game. Maybe it's a jump shot or a three-point shot, and the play's just going back and forth, right? So you're actually in the middle of this play. What can you do then? Well, then you can use some self-talk that you're just repeating in your mind to remind yourself to just approach it like any other time during the game. A very, very simple one, but one that I've seen success with, is just repeating in your mind, just play, just play, just play. It reminds you to just go out there, play, perform like you know how to do, instead of thinking, I have to make this shot. If I make this shot, we win the game. When you have those sorts of thoughts, that drives that anxiety. It might make you tense up a little bit. So just think, just play. Just perform, right? Approach it just like you do any other situation during the game. If you have any questions about not choking in those crunch time moments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about one-on-one mental performance coaching, click the link that I've put in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.